Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another podcast on the internet, which I think we've settled on. Is it Lounge Table?
The Lounge Table.
Lounge Table, yeah. And we're on episode 2 of Pre-Alpha, so...
Yeah.
Again, as always, it's Pre-Alpha. This will, of course, excuse us for any sort of inconsistencies or retcons or whatever.
Season 0.01, if you will.
Yeah, something like that. And we're having a nice cup of tea as we do the podcast. So join us, if you will. Pour yourself a nice cuppa. No, we'll move on from that. I was about to say something, so I'm probably going to dig myself in the hole. So we'll just move on from that.
Okay, well, what I had in mind for this podcast is I thought since it's the second one, since we're clearly gaining momentum and a lot of thousands of followers daily.
Oh yeah, totally, yeah.
I thought now would be an excellent time for people to kind of get to know us a little better and dive into the wonderful and weird world of our individual brains. So I have...
There's something we're going to play. Have you never ever?
Yeah, never have I ever yet.
I don't feel comfortable playing that. My mother could be listening.
No, it's probably a poor idea to sort of release the...
Well, considering we have to drink if we're lying, it'd be very hard. We'd have to very loudly slurp. I think that would really put off a lot of people, to be honest.
Probably. Apparently, there's a phobia of hearing slurping sounds. So,
really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to the 3 people I just scared off out of the millions of people in the world.
No. It's fine. I'm sure they'll be replaced soon.
So I have a few questions here. I found a little PDF on the internet with 1,001 questions, and I discounted 201 of them because they're all just about Jesus. It's why do you love Jesus? How awesome is Jesus? Do you like Jesus? Is Jesus cool? Is Jesus dope? Does Jesus own a jet ski? All these.
Is Jesus dope?
I may have been paraphrasing.
I feel you may have been.
Look, it's fine to talk about religion on the internet because that always goes well, right?
To be honest, Jesus and me are tight, man. I'd go play tennis with Jesus.
Shut up, atheist.
Anyways, before we completely lose track, let's hit us up with these questions, Ben.
Yeah, so I've just selected a few choice questions from the 1,001 list, just things that I thought would be interesting. So let's start off with a good first one. Mm-hmm. If you could never fail, what task would you complete?
If I can never fail.
So you can basically, what it's asking is if you picked one thing that you would not fail at, what would you pick?
Flying.
That's how.
If I could never fail at flying, you didn't give me parameters here.
Well, technically, okay, fine, I put you in a plane. There you go. You're flying now.
How about...
I could never fail at it.
Yeah, well, you're just a really good pilot then, aren't you?
Make a lot of money.
Right. This might be a cop-out answer, but I'm going to say succeeding. There you go.
Oh, fucking I'm trying to get you guys. I'm trying to probe your psyches a little bit, make people realize how interesting you are, and you're just I'll just succeed at winning.
What about
this bitch?
What about taking over the world?
One way to take over the world. How would you do that, Henry? How would you pick your one way to take over the world?
Well, they say a benevolent dictator is better than a terrible democracy. So how about a benevolent dictator?
I like that. I've always liked the idea of being a benevolent dictator myself. Like I'm not already.
I think I may have just figured out what I would always succeed at. Interpersonal relationships.
Ooh, that's an interesting one, Lachlan. Would you care to elaborate?
Okay, say you're at work, you're having a bit of issues with your boss. Now this thing kicks in, you can never fail. Now your boss is on your side. Now you're leading your way up to promotions. You make a lot of money. Your life is doing all right. Interpersonal relationships. If people like you, things go your way. Consider this. You haven't done really well with women in the past. You rock up to a bar, you say, hey, how you going? You're used to rejection. They think you're a solid 2 in the right lighting with a perfect filter. You now walk up to her, you look like crap, but you can't fail. This woman now loves you.
Oh, Lachlan.
Look at that. I have now not only got you laid, but I've also got you a promotion. I quite enjoy this.
That's a pretty good answer, actually. I like that one. That was a good one.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. My favourite moment is just consider this. It's that was when you went full lockdown mode and you're just I've got this, guys.
And this is how that's pretty much how I went through my psych degree. There's no right or wrong answers, but consider this.
Yeah. I suppose if I went for a slightly more serious answer, I guess I'd like to... Again, this may sound a bit cop-out, but hear me out.
Yeah.
I like to succeed in answering any question that I ask. And the reason why I say this is for example, if you're a scientist and you ask a hypothesis or postulate something, if you ask whatever and you're curious about anything, that means eventually, because this kicks in, you should be able to answer whatever hypothesis you write.
Ooh.
It may take a while, but you will always eventually come towards a conclusion. So eventually we should be able to grow ourselves and satiate our curiosity and find more.
That's
more
very
knowledge.
interesting. Actually. I like that. No matter it might take you a while, but you'll always be led to the right answer eventually.
Yes, yeah.
I think that's really cool, man. That's a good little, interesting little caveat. Yeah. See, I don't know. I just succeeded at the lottery.
Some money, pretty much.
You guys are fucking dumb.
Talking to us about cop-outs. You just short-circuited your entire damn life.
Actually, no. If I was going to pick one, that's something I'd never fail at. It would be probably playing an instrument. Honestly, if I just even if we close the caveat a little bit and only pick one, I'd probably say piano because that's my favorite. But I would like to always know that I'm getting better no matter what I'm doing.
It's a good all-rounder, so piano is a good choice.
Yeah, exactly. I like me a good bit of music.
And you can play it after you've had a meal, because you used to play woodwind, and you can never play that after a meal, which is annoying.
God, no.
What?
Lachlan,
I just like to point out, Lachlan is making strange hand symbols, and we're trying. Yeah,
Lachlan will never fail at sign language. That's
But I know the alphabet in sign language. I used to be able to sing "Happy Birthday" in sign language.
really.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome, man.
that was good fun.
I used to know how to say cock in sign language.
I'm glad that's the pinnacle of your
of course
knowledge.
you would.
Pinnacle of my knowledge is just how to say cock in a different language.
I actually don't know how to say cock in Aslan or anything like that. So
I wonder if there's a website for how many times
Oh, here
cock
we
in
go.
50 different
Right.
languages.
okay,
Can we just stick to the random world facts? We'll stick to that instead.
No, I want to look up cocks. Why are you boys going to stifle my creativity on this podcast?
No, I thought we'd ease into the cock. We'll save that for another day.
that's what she said.
There you go. Brilliant. Yeah.
In French. Let's start with that and hope we get a good.
Why is the first thing that you want to pull up is how to say cock in French?
You say cock in French.
Cock.
Cock.
There you go. It's exactly the same. Look,
Just say it quicker.
Lunch Table, your source for high quality intellectual content. Oh yeah.
That went over the air too. That was nice.
Good.
Cock.
Good. So exactly the same as in English.
Yes, exactly
Good.
the same.
Good.
Fantastic.
High quality content.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Cook.
Okay. Should we get back on the track now?
No.
Pre-alpha, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Pre-alpha.
Pre-alpha. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Pre-alpha.
Okay.
Although speaking of pre-alpha and all that, Steam Greenlight is going away. The whole,
What Steam Greenlight's going away?
Yeah, this is the whole, the whole
Oh my God.
pre-alpha joke is based on. But yeah, apparently Steam got sick of all the nasty crap that got being chucked on Steam.
To be fair, it is.
There's a lot of garbage.
Yeah.
Look, then up to now, I think 60% of the games on their library has been released in the last year or two, and they're all garbage games.
Yeah.
Not excluding the quality stuff, obviously, but the problem with that is there's so much garbage flooding in the store that it's actually getting hard to find the stuff you want, because it's just like top 10 releases this week or something, and it's just whatever crap that was shoved onto Greenlight or
That's
early
really
access and
unfortunate,
stuff.
actually.
Yeah, so I can understand them wanting to get rid of it.
Yeah, I think that's a shame though, because it's like there are some genuinely good games that can come out of that, and it's like it's a bit sad that it's flooded with crap. But I guess that's the risk you take in those kind of things.
Well,
like imagine something like Kickstarter. It's like how many is like, I want to make a gaming channel on YouTube, but I don't have a PC, a microphone, a camera, and I'm going to need $100,000 to get them all.
Yeah.
Please support me. I will love you forever. This man has given me enough incentive to give him a lot of money.
Maybe we should start a Kickstarter and get a nice variety of tea. We could get a tea chest.
Oh my God, yes. All right, guys, support us on Kickstarter.
Here we go.
We could do reviews on the teas like this one right now. This is pretty sweet.
I like this tea. This is a good base tea. Like,
Yes.
how would you...
I love those words that you just said.
I was actually going to say something.
This is a nice sort of fruity and sort of mild innocuous tea. Good for a nice soothing afternoon, as it were. If
I
you don't
agree,
want
yeah.
anything too strong. But yeah.
It gives a good settle in the stomach as well. Like, Henry cooked us a beautiful meal before we started. Absolutely beautiful. And this complements it well because it just settles your stomach.
It was absolutely amazing though, and Henry being the boss ass chef he is, it was just your standard spaghetti sort of meal, but we're using turkey mince, a variety of herbs, spice. It was fantastic.
He got some motherfucking paprika up in this bitch.
Man, you can't go wrong, man, if you're hooking up this paprika up in this bitch, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fucking good anime.
Goddamn, man, you're gonna do me like that right now. I swear to God, man. You got me up in here talking all black in this bitch, man. I swear to God, man.
This is Lachlan. This is your rap career taking over again, isn't it? This is, yo, man, my homie, you got that right. There's all
you
that
know
rap.
that, man, but I ain't gonna be spitting that homie word up in this bitch, man. If I'm talking a microphone, that microphone ain't my homie. I'm murdering that bitch up in this.
Oh yeah, you set it on fire with your words, my man.
I ain't burning that thing, man. The microphones are expensive. I'm just gonna straight kill it. I'm gonna revive it in my spare time, and then I'm coming back and I'm gonna kill it again, man. I'm essentially just a verbal terrorist, man. You know what I'm saying?
You have a very expensive hobby.
Yeah, boy, good shit there.
He took a sip of his tea, guys.
I was going to say, like, going back to the Steam Greenlight thing really quickly.
Yeah.
I like, you know how it says, when you run the risk of the shit when mixed with the good. And it's like, it's why people browse the Steam Greenlight, I suppose. I think maybe there should be, like, a little bit of a classification window, if you were.
It's just the problem of the ratio, unfortunately, at the moment, is far in favor of all the crap, which is unfortunate. But yeah. And they, unfortunately, for the long part, have been hands off, saying, look, the community can curate it, but unfortunately, the internet being the internet, have done a really piss poor job at curating Greenlight and all the other stuff. So
man, but what about all the YouTubers that like get to go into Greenlight, download the garbage, and then make fun of it for their YouTube channel? That's just sad. They don't get to do that anymore.
No, but I somehow don't expect terrible games to be going away anytime soon.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point.
So yeah, there's always going to be something to satirize or make fun of. And
Minecraft still exists. Oh,
wow! I liked Minecraft.
I actually love Minecraft. It's like my favorite game ever.
And yeah, a million dislikes instantly for bashing Minecraft.
I'm edgy.
Yeah.
I'm edgy, guys.
Ooh.
You watch out, or I'll cut you with my edginess.
And this is how we entered the underground of the internet.
We break into it.
Yeah. Are those
hot new podcast? The lounge table, more like the knife edge table.
But speaking of Greenlight, I am curious though. Have there been any on early access or Greenlight that you guys have actually thought, yes, I would like to see this completed and I actually play full price for?
There was actually a couple that I saw. Mostly I get linked to Greenlight stuff by a couple of friends because they love it. They love Brandon stuff. And and I wish to God I can remember the name, but one was actually a really interesting little zombie survival game. If you guys,
of course it was.
I know.
It's Greenlight.
Yeah.
There's one every other release.
Absolutely. Yeah. But you guys know State of Decay, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, love it. I actually really like that game.
Yeah. Well, it was really hyped, and to be honest, I was a bit let down by it. I thought like it hyped itself up to be something that it wasn't quite. It wasn't a bad game.
Well,
it just wasn't.
Like most zombie survival horror games, a bit of a letdown.
Yeah. But the thing was, this was going to pick up where it left off, so to speak. So there was going to be really good multiplayer, more inventive. Like, the graphics took a shot, obviously, because this is an indie game. But it was actually looking like something I really was going to enjoy playing. And another one was, I'm a fan of base builders, and this one was this. It was just a cute little base builder. It had like little kind of like blobby slime people. It was it was just like a big blob with like two blobs for hands and two blobs for legs. And yeah, they would just kind of wander around and do the things that you assign them to do. Like you had no direct control over them, but yeah, they would just kind of blob about and they build their little blobby buildings, and it was like very kind of A-level graphic, like B standard graphics, but they were like really well animated. It was just really cute and really like endearing. And I just liked the feel of the game. I was like, this is so cool. But yeah, unfortunately, neither of them actually went through with it,
Yes, another classic problem. And that's this source of, our running joke so far. Yeah, a lot of them stay in early access and will never get out of it. Or even if they maybe greenlit or whatever, they'll stay in pre-alpha or in beta and never get an actual release.
Yeah.
They just sort of peter out, and then when people lose interest, the devs lose interest as well, and I don't know, move on to something else. Or
yeah, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? There are some devs that are amazing, and like you can tell that their game is their absolute passion, and there are the other devs who are just like, oh, okay, you're
And props
really
to all
quiet
those,
and hate us.
yeah, props to all those devs who actually stick it out,
Shout
continually update them, and just keep developing the game. Yeah,
Shout out to Time and Sylvester because he makes RimWorld and I love RimWorld.
excellent game. That excellent
He's
game.
also decidedly handsome, and you're not allowed to be a game dev and be handsome. It's not fair.
Why not?
Okay, I'll try to avoid it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you, Lachlan. I couldn't handle it. If you make a good game, I would have to fuck you.
Only if I make a good game.
Well, right now it's like I want to, but
Oh, but then it becomes like a requirement.
exactly, it becomes a need rather
Okay,
than a want.
well, I'll just start developing a bit of a tabletop game.
Don't you fucking dare.
I'll do it.
You're gonna do it?
You know how much
I'm gonna strip you down. I'm gonna shave your body hair and I'm gonna put it all in my mouth.
there's not enough room.
You dirty little cunt,
What?
Henry.
What?
Is that a
what do I do?
camera, dude?
Why is it in my butt?
How did I not feel it? Enter my butt.
Yeah.
Henry's a master at this.
Master what? No. Anyways, speaking of games, there was a bit of a interesting bit of news recently about Destiny. In case you don't know what Destiny is, it was like sort of an FPS MMO. Came out quite a while back. It's quite a popular thing. If you don't know what it is, what the hell is wrong with you? if you like games. Anyways, the
Grandma.
yeah, the
Funny
amusing
grandma.
thing was there was news confirming the release of Destiny 2. Well, it's going to be coming out whenever, you know.
September 8th, apparently.
Yeah, that's it. But the thing is, all we got, as far as I could tell, was a poster of the word Destiny and a big 2 behind it.
Yep. Oh, and we got a little trailer.
Yeah, but no, this was before that trailer. We did get a trailer afterwards.
Oh, yeah, true.
But before that, even with the poster, someone was already reviewing and going, yes, Destiny, best game, contender for Game of the Year. 4.7 out of 5. And saying, what?
At least he only gave it 4.7. At least he tempered his excitement and like, okay, I know it's not perfect, guys, but it's the closest thing we'll get to it, so, yeah.
That too was slightly crooked.
I didn't like the way that character was standing.
Yeah.
He was not happy enough to be a mass murderer.
Dropped off 0.1 of a star, to be honest.
I just find it amusing, yeah, someone can give it a review when you haven't seen anything of it.
Yeah.
And even after the trailer released, it's still just a short trailer, so...
It was a nice little trailer, though.
It is, but
It was
still.
definitely propped up by the fact that they had they had the comedic relief there.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it personally, I think it mixed the tone up quite a bit. It's like you have one hand really, really serious, and then there's this one funny dude, and it's like, it's fine to have both, but you need to be able to balance the two. You know what I mean?
I don't mind, actually, because sometimes I find games take themselves a little too seriously, and that seems to have the opposite. Like, they may be trying to do an interesting subject or whatever, but because they're so concerned about making sure that the player takes them seriously, that you just laugh at how ridiculous they get with their seriousness. Or
Yeah. Well, classic example, best example I can think of, Borderlands. Borderlands is the game if you want to have an interesting shift in tones.
Just before we jump into Borderlands, because I haven't played the game. I've seen gameplay of it, love it. Just from what I've seen thus far.
Your opinion isn't valid, then shut up.
Man, you should just leave the damn show right now, man. You're the new guy here, remember that.
Ben representing much of the internet very well there.
We should, if we can gain that, I don't know about copywriting at the moment with it, but we should be able to throw up the Destiny 2 trailer on our Facebook page.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. We can share that around. I don't think they would ever get annoyed at us for showing 10 people.
If they're annoyed
11, mum joined.
Yes! Hello, Lockie's mum. You're a very nice lady.
If they're annoyed about getting free advertising, then that's their prerogative.
How dare you sell our game for us?
But we'll throw it up there. We're going to be pretty active on social media, so feel free to hit us up.
Be like, yo, this show was shit and I hope you all kill yourselves. And we're like, thank you, valued citizen.
Hey, although I don't know if it would be too constructive if they're talking about us, suicide and such. But feedback is always appreciated.
As always, yeah, it's constructive feedback.
Constructive feedback, that's the key.
Yes,
Tell us how to kill ourselves. Would you like to see a noose? Maybe poison?
Should we do it with or without clothes on? Would you like nude suicide? Is this something that you'd be interested in? Also, if you do provide feedback and we don't like it, we will take the piss.
Yes, do feel free to. No, I can't say that.
It sounds like it could have been illegal.
Finally, at least I'm not the only one saying this on the podcast now. So I'm going to talk about Borderlands now.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, Borderlands.
So what I was saying about Borderlands is the tone is really good in Borderlands because if you ever look at Borderlands just on the surface level, it's just, oh, you look there, it's funny, they're not taking themselves seriously, they're having a good romp, and there's pop culture references here and there, and they've got their own jokes. It's cool, it's nice, it's fun.
I just wanted to say before you move on is I found it was more enjoyable with a mate rather than just playing through by myself.
Completely.
Playing through by myself was it got a bit boring after a while, and I never found that playing with a mate.
Well, this is actually what I was going to address, Henry. You brought up a very good point. Because the reason I love Borderlands so much is because of the story and the characters. They had a very rich background story, a world that encouraged the behavior of them. Like it was and when you actually look at it, you know, you can look at it and go, oh, it's funny, you know, these characters are funny and they've got this and that. And then, but if you actually borrow down under it, it's got extremely heavy vibes to it. It's like you find that all the bandits have been driven crazy because of the constant threats of death and violence on them all, and the fact that they were completely abandoned by people who were supposed to be paying them. You know, that like they're just stranded on this random outskirt planet. You know, you've got the main character who is absolutely batshit insane. You've got you've got the four other characters who are just there for the money and the loot. It's like you look at it, it's like this is actually really dark, but it takes on such a fun overtone and makes it silly.
Yeah.
And that makes it so much more enjoyable, and it makes the serious bits hit much harder. Like once you actually start getting invested in the story, you just want to finish it. You have to finish it. You have to fuck this evil guy up.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
he was
that's
so bad. You know?
It's got good juxtaposition and stuff, and yeah, it's like it means if you have that, you've got something to compare it with. If you just have a story, any story, whether it be for a game or movie or whatever, if it's just continually dark, brooding, grimdark, or depressing throughout the entire, you get fatigued and numb to it.
A little
However,
bit, yeah.
if you've got something to contrast it, like a really happy or very bright, sort of happy scene, then yeah, all the other horrible nastiness and that will seem even worse because you've got that contrast.
A really good example of that too, a beautiful contrast with some of the early set Final Fantasy games, and I know I keep coming back to it, but when
you
definitely,
fanboy.
I love it. Final Fantasy X, for example, for any of the viewers that know Final Fantasy X, it's good.
Yeah, you get to play Meg Ryan. Anyways.
My God. You get Titus or Titus, however you want to pronounce it, and Yuna. Now that is a very beautiful interactions that they have together, and the romance side of it and the friendship that comes out of that. And then shit hits the fan and it's actually serious and you feel that, and whenever something bad happens you really feel it. Similar to that Final Fantasy VII, spoiler alert, when Aerith dies. I know. But
Look, if you don't know that by now, then that's what the hell's wrong with you? Why have you not played the Final Fantasy VII by now?
when did Final Fantasy VII even get released? I remember playing it when I was
It doesn't matter. They brought out a
7?
remake recently, didn't they?
No,
it's still in development.
they're
Still in
going to.
development. Okay.
It
It's
got
a
announced.
big
but
game.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It was a 3-disc for the
It's
original.
gonna be huge.
Yeah, I mean, doing a remake of that, it's pretty much like treading on hallowed ground. They're gonna have to tread very carefully.
I think if they just
to
do
not piss off a lot of people.
I think they just have to do the exact same game, just with better graphics. That's it. Done. Everyone will be happy.
Yeah. At the
Okay.
moment, I think from what I saw, that seems to be the case. But they were also considering about changing certain mechanics, and people were already going, "Wait, no,
Yeah.
no."
I don't know. What about the most recent Final Fantasy game? The fact that it's open world is pretty fun.
Yeah. But they're not doing the open world, they're doing a remake of a classic.
Yeah.
And I believe that they need to keep to that classic.
For
I
7,
don't-
yeah.
Yeah, I don't even want them to change the battle structure or the battle menu.
Yeah.
I want that battle menu
Yeah.
to be the boop, 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 whenever you alter through the different options. I need that.
Yeah.
And
Look,
I need the theme song.
They can get away with doing a different genre or whatever with a new game, obviously, because no one's going to preconceive stuff. And Final Fantasy has set a precedent where they will just flat out completely change the world and mythos between games, and that's totally fine.
Yeah,
People
that's true.
come to sort of expect that every second or third game they might just change everything. It may not work, like in
But
Platinum,
Final Fantasy
but,
basically
yeah.
writes fan fiction of itself. That it's
kind
It's
of.
great though.
It is pretty
It
good.
is great.
Top quality fan
Yeah.
fiction.
Although speaking of that, I did find it funny that in the latest one, it was basically just a massive ad for Coleman's outdoor equipment and for cup noodles. There's even a freaking quest just to get cup noodle ingredients or whatever. It's like, oh god.
What a fucking great game. I need to play this.
I actually haven't touched it.
Neither have I.
Yeah,
That's a shame.
yeah.
It's the only Final Fantasy that I've gone, oh, I really need to play that. Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's PC, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's PS4.
See, I don't.
That's my burp objection.
I still only own a PS3.
You
Yeah.
poor bugger.
I'm very poor, very, very broke.
No.
It's only
Besides,
because you spend $7,000 on your goddamn arm.
and counting 7,250.
Well, I suppose,
Well,
I suppose getting a bionic arm is
yeah.
worth it though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
if you can't afford it or can't be bothered to wait around, there are full playthroughs of it already, and that's how I know about because I don't have a PS4 either currently, and I just watched the playthrough, actually 2 playthroughs of it, and it was there's a lot of jank to it. There's a lot of stuff that we go, well, this seems very dodgy or sort of not that great, but overall it seemed like a much improved experience over 13, which is
Well, 13 was kind of like, a lot of people didn't like 13.
Yeah.
Myself kind of included.
I enjoy all the Final Fantasy games, but I'm incredibly biased in that regard. I see Final Fantasy, I'm like, damn, I've got to play. Like, I had way too much fun with 1, and I understood nothing. I had to look up walkthroughs to get through 1 myself, because I spent like a full day sitting there. With an emulator, mind you, that shit was sped up, and I still... hours and hours on end, and I was confused about how to get through it. I don't mind open world, but this was a linear world where I couldn't figure out how to go in a straight line. There was no guidance. So that was a thing.
How do I walk?
Wait, so does that mean you fail all sobriety tests? Because
Yeah.
you can't walk in a straight line.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
you're the reason that everyone starts their walkthroughs with move the controller forward to go forward.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
Yeah, you're that guy.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right, Grandpa.
Thanks, babe. I appreciate that.
But you see, going back to the original point, we were off track a little bit again, I think.
I like Final Fantasy.
You like
No,
Final
it's,
Fantasy.
it's fine. We're an open world
We're an
podcast,
open world podcast.
right? We've just wandered off the main quest, as usual. We start on the main quest and immediately veer off.
What kitties? Yep. I'm down for that. But no, the main point is like tonal shifts are very important in games, and I think if I guess there were many complaints for Destiny. I think on the whole, and I think if Destiny 2 does what Borderlands 2 did, which was instead of Borderlands 1 was a good game but had its flaws, Borderlands 2 made up for a lot of those flaws. If Destiny can do the same thing, then I fully endorse it. I reckon I would support the shit out of it. If they can go, okay, this is what was bad about our game. This is what's going to be good about Destiny 2 instead. You've got it. You've got the winning formula.
As long as they have a slightly better loot system than before.
Have you guys come across, and this is maybe a little off track, but my mind's bouncing back and forth between Destiny, Final Fantasy, and Borderlands now. Have you guys come across games that have a game as an Easter egg?
Oh, game within a game. Yeah, no.
Yes.
I love that. The fact that they can be bothered to basically program a completely new game and shove it into another game, that's great. Actually, they did that in Final Fantasy 15. You can go to an actual arcade or pinball machine and you can actually legitimately play...
The old school pinball?
Yeah, entirely new game. I can't remember if it was a pinball game, but it was just a completely self-contained game inside Final Fantasy 15.
Those are amazing, right?
Yeah.
Gwent,
Yes.
Gwent.
in Witcher 3.
The card game
yes.
Witcher 3.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. I haven't played it. I do have Witcher 3, but I haven't played it yet.
Well, you can actually get Gwent just as an individual game now. It got so popular.
That's pretty awesome.
It's basically a Hearthstone contender at this point, I reckon.
Beautiful.
It's a lot of fun. I've got into the early access beta.
Oh, okay.
They're making some very big changes to the original game Witcher 3, but it is still fun as fuck.
You'll have to show me. We'll come over and you can show me all about Gwent and such.
Yeah, absolutely.
Final Fantasy 10. I believe they pull it up maybe in another one. Don't quote me on that.
Are you thinking maybe of that ball game that they had in 10? Yeah, Blitzball. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blitzball is amazing. I remember in Final Fantasy 1 and 2, they went above and beyond that, where if you were to complete the main storyline in 1 and 2, it would release 3. Or at least 1.5. I'm not sure how they did it. But within those games, characters would come and die off. So you would play with a 3-character, your standard 3-character turn-based thing, and then you would have guest characters that would come in at more difficult parts of the game, and they would assist. They'd be high-level characters that would help you out, like healers or just nuke mages, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then those characters would die off. So those characters would come in and then die, allow you to build that connection with them,
Final Fantasy.
and then die away. Final Fantasy played on this for years to come, but all those characters that died off within 1 and 2 went to, you couldn't call it purgatory, it was like walking, it was the pathway to go to the afterlife, and I believe it was called the Jade Path.
Something like that,
They called it. Now that was another game in itself where your character died and woke up in the Jade Path and met up with these other characters, and then that created your party. Your main storyline party was the guest characters from 1 and 2, and that's how you continued playing the next game.
That's pretty
and
cool,
that game
actually,
was only released if you completed the main storyline of 1 and 2.
Jesus.
You could only
That's
play
pretty cool.
it.
Dude, that's fucking wow.
It was an incredible. I was like, I had
don't
no
seem
idea.
to remember this.
Did you beat 1 and 2? Were you good enough to beat 1 and 2? I had to play the walkthrough.
I beat 1. I don't think I beat, I think I didn't beat 2.
I was going to say, Lockie is like currently the headmaster of Final Fantasy.
Oh, I love it so much.
He's like, he is the tutorial for Final Fantasy now.
I have one on my arm, and I have Sora on my arm who the Cloud guest appears in Kingdom Hearts.
No, I just want to be able to suplex a train again in another Final Fantasy game. That's what I want.
Be awesome.
Yeah.
I love suplexing trains.
I do that on
on the reg, man, on the reg.
Yeah, what are you talking about in games, man? Your games need to have a bit of gains, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh dear. Is this going to be a fitness thing?
I'm gonna shake this up again because I got some more questions for you boys.
Oh god.
All right, so the question in the book was if you were going to rule the world, what sort of changes would you make? But I wrote down on here, rule the world. What do?
That's
You can answer either question.
probably start with your goddamn attitude towards literature, because that's just insulting.
Fucking.
Oh, that's a bit of a low question. I don't know.
Yeah. What do?
Ruling the world. If I had to rule the world.
If I was gonna give you guys an idea, instantly I would ban cheese.
Oh, don't do that to me.
Why would you? No, I thoroughly oppose that.
I am maybe a benevolent dictator, but I have no time for your cheese.
I thought you liked cheese.
No, I hate cheese.
Oh, no.
Right. Well, my first thing would be to promote the shit out of cheese. Then. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm just turning like Southeast Asia into some sort of cheese factory. That's my step one.
So if I ruled the world, first thing I would do is eliminate all borders. There's now no such thing as borders because I hate passports.
I can agree with that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I hate passports.
Because who doesn't like sitting around for 6 months waiting for whatever to send you? Say, oh yeah, you can now come in and fill out like a huge stack of forms to
Exactly.
renew or get a passport.
Exactly. But I would make cavity searches mandatory.
That's just for your own pleasure. Is that
Yes, I would perform
cavity searches are now
cavity
mandatory, but I do all of them, right?
I would
Is that it?
I would divide it into 4 lines: hot girls, hot guys, ugly girls, and ugly guys. And I would probably constantly man the hot girls one.
Right.
Wait, no, another cavity search. Now I've got to check all of them. All of them. All of them.
Now,
Okay,
would this be sort of based around your own life, or would this like the hot girl line? Because if you have attractive females in your family, they would still go into that line. Keeping in mind, attractiveness is subjective.
Yeah.
That's why there's a hot girl line that I'm in charge of. Bear in mind, I'm the ruler of the world. I'm in charge of everything here.
That is a
And
good
it's like
point.
if I don't like you, might be a 10 out of 10. But if I think you're a bit of a bitch, then you're going into the ugly girl line. And if you're not careful, I'll put you in the ugly boy line. Do you know what happens in the ugly boy line? You get beaten with a spade.
That's your cavity search?
Yes.
Spade beatings?
Spade beatings. Because if you're ugly, I have no time for you.
Look, don't give the TSA any more ideas.
Well, okay, so we're not allowing this guy to take over the world, Henry?
No.
This is all theoretical, of course. I'm actually a very nice person.
Theoretical.
Right, I think my second act would be to divert all the ugly guys towards Ben.
Surround me with ugly guys. Just give me a spade, mate. I'll be right.
And ban all spades.
So my first step would probably be to ban all cavity searches, and ban Ben.
I feel like we're not really connected here, guys. I'm like, I start off with, I'll eliminate all borders. And you guys are like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah, who could be bothered with borders? And I'm like, mandatory cavity searches. You're like, okay, hold on a second here, boy.
Well, that's not something that I enjoy.
No.
I don't enjoy that. No. Prostate exams, however, come at me.
The third thing I would do is I would make gardens mandatory.
Oh.
I like gardens. I think everyone should have and maintain a garden.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. I think everyone should have a garden. They'll have a better appreciation of things. Look, it's easy to get people to say, look, don't fuck up the earth when they've got something that they can look after and they can sort of appreciate that.
And I would confiscate all the pineapples.
And put them on pizzas? No.
You can get the fuck out of your own house, Henry.
I love Hawaiian pizza. In regards to that too, what about shift workers who work a lot of overtime? For myself, I'm a shift worker. I pull in a lot of overtime. I don't have time to maintain a garden. I'd let alone have enough time to come to this podcast.
Well, it doesn't have to be a big one. It could just be a tiny little thing.
I was going to say, there will be, if you cannot do it, there will be governmentally supplied either gardeners or hours for which you can garden.
I would allow that.
So if worse came to worst, Lockie, because you're a shift worker, and I know you tend to you tend to have a bit of free time on your hands at work every now and then. Mm-hmm. I think during that free time, you can just pop a little headset on, just keep up to date with our podcast, which is the Lounge Table, by the way. Like and subscribe.
Oh, here we go. We're already starting.
But yeah, and then you can just, you garden. Because gardening is a very relaxing thing. Like, setting up the garden is the hard part. But once you actually just, do a bit of pruning, you do a bit of plucking, you maintain the garden. It's a very simple and relaxing thing.
I totally agree with that. Except, how am I going to maintain my garden while I'm at work at a desk?
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got the whole VR thing going. So what we should do is have... No, hear me out. We have some robots that we have in our garden, and then when you've got your free time, if you're as busy as me and Lockie and all the rest of it, you put on your VR set, you connect to your robot, and then you just garden, but remotely.
That would be a good idea.
Okay, no, I completely agree with that. Yeah. That would be...
And then you, obviously, from your perspective, you are still in your garden and enjoying the serenity of your garden, but you can still maintain a busy lifestyle.
Absolutely.
If needed.
Well, and there you go, like number 5 is government, dump a lot of our science funding into researching robots.
Yes.
Actually, in all honesty, I would definitely increase scientific funding if I was in charge of the world. I would
You just picked one of my choices, but yes, that was one of our ones
I think scientists are criminally underfunded. I think, when they have given us so much in the modern world today, I think they're criminally underfunded.
We're still defunding them, which is...
Yeah.
Anyways.
I think you actually have a really good point with the lack of borders thing. If we don't have borders, then we would all become one person. We wouldn't need a military.
That's a good point.
We would be one person. The United Nations, that would be a fundamental.
No.
That would be incredible. Our military... presence would potentially be to world protection as opposed to fighting other nations.
Essentially, we'll be Star Trek, which I'm totally fine with. I'm totally fine with just turning into Star Trek. I'd much rather that than turning into, say, Blade Runner or such.
Yeah. Well, I'd say it just be...
Much as I love Blade Runner, I don't want to live in... Yeah,
it would just be a world police force, wouldn't it? Rather than having an army, you'd just have a police force, basically, just to make sure all the cunts stay in line.
Yeah, that's... Solid point there. Solid point there. I completely approve of that. That would eliminate billions of dollars that are now being funneled into weapons of mass destruction and keeping all this under lock. All that money could then be towards medical and scientific advancements and looking for another planet that we could potentially screw up. That sounds like fun.
You see, guys, this is why I should rule the world. I'm a genius.
That and cavity searches.
Look, you got to take the good with the bad, Lachlan. No rule is perfect.
Cavity search and world peace.
To be honest, if you could pick no world peace, but no mandatory cavity searches... Would you pick that over world peace but mandatory cavity searches?
How often would these cavity searches occur?
Once a year.
Once? Oh, okay.
Just for no reason at all.
No reason whatsoever.
And it'd be like a specific day, so you could shove anything that you want.
No, you get a governmentally mandated day, because I can't stick my fingers in every puss at once.
Oh, no, but that's fine. Unless you're hardcore in Ben's world, you won't have the cavity searcher. So
You wouldn't.
and
Yes,
if you're
you
not,
would. Yes, you would, because every now and then I'd pop over to the other lines just to mix it up a bit, keep people on their toes.
Oh no.
Every now and then I would be doing the beating with the spade.
that's fine. So yeah,
concerning.
carry small lasers with you at all time. Yeah.
I would recommend. I would recommend a lot of dental dams.
Or just everyone wear those like new condoms that came out and they've got like spikes on them.
Oh yeah, the anti-rape.
Yeah,
ones,
yeah. There you go.
That
Ben would love that one. Oh yeah.
mandatory cavity research day just became a lot more violent. Like it wasn't already with the beatings with the spades.
Oh, that's pretty stock standard in most places on the earth, isn't it?
Okay.
Beep, we've detected an ugly man. Bring out the shovels.
Anyways, and we've veered quite off topic. So let's see. We're still on open
No,
world.
we haven't.
No. I'm just saying, if we're going back to the open world analogy, we've now veered so off course. We're now climbing up random mountains and trying to hop onto
Random
another.
mountains.
Yeah.
We're looking at that, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
Stop trying to read Cantonese.
Giving it a good go. I'm always trying to advance myself.
Yep. Which is admirable. It's an admirable trait. More people.
Mandatory self-improvement. Edict number 6.
So I now know that this symbol means mountain.
Yep, stop, don't give me the finger again.
I'm not. The entire Cantonese
the-
population is.
Oh, that's, you know what, that's fair.
Although I would like to just point out that's just Chinese in general. It's not restricted to just Chinese.
The Chinese people, the white boys, the big fuck you.
That is a lot more people.
That's a good 2 billion. Yeah.
2 billion people hate you.
That's an improvement.
How many people are on Earth? I'm totally
7 billion.
There you go. You're
7
doing
billion.
all right. So
I'm
that's
doing
5
all right.
billion people that could potentially like you.
Yeah.
Yep.
None of them are in this room, but there's a whole world out there.
Yep.
I feel so loved.
Yeah.
When I rule the
That's-
world, I don't need you cunts.
Those are still good odds. So.
Beat you both with spades.
But see, that's a solid 5 out of 7 billion people that could
A
enjoy
perfect
this.
5 out of 7.
Perfect
Yeah.
5 out of
Yeah.
7 billion people that could like you.
Well done. Good job. Good reference there.
Call
I
back
like
to
it.
not on the podcast time.
Right, we weren't recording that part.
No.
This means nothing to the viewers. Shout outs, Lockie.
Oh god, you guys are gonna fucking kill me one day.
Look, if you've been on the internet within the last couple of years, you should know what 5 out of 7 is, anyways.
It's a perfect score, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's a perfect score. Yeah, it's a solid perfect score.
So, is there anything you guys want to add to my world edicts?
What do you
I'll take you guys on as council.
What would you change about the world, Henry? How would you rule it?
I mean, realistically, I just like a little less stupidity in the world.
Good luck.
I know, there you go. But yeah, hey, we're going with perfect situations, right? A little less stupidity and a little more thinking.
Critical thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
I see that as a reform of the education system, which is a hot topic, Henry.
Yeah. I suppose the other one is more hot chicks liking me. There you go. There's a selfish one and an unselfish one.
Perfect.
Mate, if you're ruling the world, you're doing all right.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that would pull it itself. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're doing all right if you single-handedly run the damn planet. Pretty sure you can get a date that way.
It'd be great if he could. Does anyone date rule the world? No, I'm alright, thanks.
I'm good. The previous rule has still got me feeling a little uncomfortable with those cavity searches.
Nice.
And my boyfriend's dead because he got beaten with a spade.
I genuinely think, and this may get really dark for a second,
Oh no.
but that's kind of what life does to me.
Beats you with a spade after sticking its finger in your butt.
Yes.
Yes.
I would actually put things in place without the population knowing to enhance natural selection.
I'm so glad I didn't take a sip then.
Because stupidity needs to die out on its
Yes.
own merit, not through mass genocide.
That is true. Look, no. Just make everyone, all the stupid people sterile. They can still, live out their lives or whatever. They're just sterile. And then,
What if you replace all of the people's IQs who's below 50, to cut off their hands and replace them with axes? So every time they go to scratch their head, they kill themselves.
Because in that regard, stupid people get confused and aggravated very rapidly. If I say a word with more than 4 syllables in it, they're gonna kill me.
I didn't say it was foolproof.
Let me do the rule whirl. The rule whirling.
I can see why Ben has already been overthrown as rule of the world.
I'm so glad I asked this question. Axes for hands. What do you guys think? You're fucking retarded, Ben. Shut up, I rule the world.
How do I fund everybody getting axes for hands?
Pretty easily.
Hang on. So what have we learned from this question so far? So Ben wants cavity searches for reasons and axes on stupid people.
Actually, now that you say it like that, it sounds like a bad idea.
Yep. I want more critical thinking and, less dumb people, which is, more hot chicks, I guess. And Lockie wants dumb people to be, I don't know, neutered?
No, just die out naturally.
Die naturally.
He wants to enhance the process of natural selection.
Right.
I think is the best way to put it.
In any way possible.
Excellent.
Any way possible.
Oh, better idea.
Yes.
Tigers into the populace.
I don't know about you, but I don't know how much intellect sort of plays a part in physical attributes.
Well, you got to dodge the tiger, don't you? You got to be smart enough to know what the tiger's going to do.
Although, wait, technically, shouldn't this mean it will help the tiger population? Because then we would have to breed them to put one. Yeah,
exactly. Actually, edict number 7. There you go. We combine environmental environments with urban environments.
That's a sentence.
Create this beautiful unity of rhinos and humans.
So
hippos in every swimming pool.
I'm just picturing like a full post-apocalyptic world, though. Like it's very naturalistic. It's very beautiful. Except we have rhino people walking around with axes on their heads. We're trying to perform cavity searches.
Oh, we've done well here.
Lachlan, you have described my perfect world.
I'm concerned that this even became a thing. Who gave us microphones?
It was all Henry. This was his idea.
Henry, why are you promoting cavity searches of rhino people with axes?
No, I'm not promoting anything. I'm merely providing tools. What you use with the tools is your prerogative.
Well, I can't really hold a tool if my hands are axes, Henry.
Oh, my
But they
can't breathe these days.
I was about to say something, Ben's slowly dying over there.
Oh, man, I hate asthma. I can't laugh too hard or I die.
He's telling the truth.
That is entirely accurate.
All right, quick intermission here.
We'll be right back after these sponsors' messages, of which there are none.
Buy Ventolin, it's good for you.
No, wait, here we go. Here's a sponsor message. Give money. There you go.
Give me money, please.
Yeah. We can pretend to be. No, wait, that's going to. No, we'll not. I'm vetoing my own joke. Let's move on.
All right, well, how about another question then,
Another
guys?
question. Hit me
Because
up.
that last one promoted some great discussion.
Yes.
So, this is about your names. Okay, so if you could have another first name, would you take it? And if you wouldn't, and you have to become a pro wrestler. Now, this is just speculation here, and this is just my own caveat to the
Can I change
question.
both names, or
Well, this is the whole point. So, would you change your first name? And if you did, what would it be? That's question 1. And question number 2, because it kind of ties into this, is what would be your wrestling name and your calling card?
Well, if you allowed changing both names, I'd like to change my name to Max Venturi.
Okay, what did you have a wrestling name in the first place, Henry?
Because, Max Venturi sounds like an awesome name. It's much better than what I have at the moment.
That makes you sound like you're about to explore space.
I'm perfectly fine with that. Always wanted to be an astronaut when I was little, so yeah.
There you go, fucking perfect.
Yep. And it also sounds like a hero's name, I guess. And then I could pretend to be a hero.
You actually get to wear... You don't have to pretend anymore. When you wear the helmet and you run around in your playpen, you're like, I actually am Max Venturi.
Yay.
Lachlan, what would you change your first name at all?
Well, my first name or the alias that I like to use?
Well, you already have an alias.
I do, yes.
So what would you change your first name, though?
Well, probably not, to be honest, because my parents gifted me that name.
Yeah, well,
So I see that as a gift that my parents had given to me when I was a child.
Well, what did my mum want to call me? Something like Jebediah.
Oh,
I'd change that shit.
It was...
Every Jebediah listening, just...
I'm sorry,
that's like 80% of
Jebediah, the name, all it conjures in my mind is just running around in the bayou and running into like someone with a slack jaw and just about to shoot something.
Hey, Ma! My name Jebediah. Got me a crocodile.
Oh, I attacked it with
Son,
my
that's a
axe
possum.
hands.
And I'm sure there are many,
Wax hands.
many lovely Jebediahs there, but unfortunately, that's the first image that comes to my mind when I hear that name.
I've got to ask Mum what it was because I know it wasn't Jebediah. I know it was something silly. And one of my old friends, his mum had the same threat. His was something like Urza or something like that, something silly.
Right.
And when we put them together, it sounded like a really bad novel, like The Adventures of Jebediah and Urza. Like,
Oh dear.
That actually sounds really cool. What adventures would Jebediah and Urza get up to?
to be honest, I feel like they would go around fucking with Jesus. Like it sounds like they'd be the troll characters in the book about Jesus. It's worth thinking about, isn't it?
Wrestling names.
The Savior.
Well,
Ooh.
Savior.
Well, I was already predicting that one.
What
but
would be
yeah,
like your
that's a good one.
What would be like your entrance? Because like the Rock says, "Can you smell what the Rock is cooking?" What would your entrance be? It's like, because I would love if like, "Do you need a savior?" as you elbow drop someone.
They will after this.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point.
And I'm not the one to help. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Just like I will bring you salvation as you fuck them up.
I need a backup guy.
I'll be your backup guy.
Just
I'll be
call
that.
the medic.
I'll be that really skinny dude in the mask. You know, like I'll wear. Oh, that's it. Yeah, I'll wear an Aztec masks. I'll call myself El Chupacabra.
No, actually, what you should do,
El Chupacabra.
what you should do, Ben, is you should wear one of those silly big muscle suits. And just rock up every fight with one of those. But you pretend obviously that you always think that's actually your muscle.
Yeah, I'll do
Yeah.
it. I'll
Yeah.
I'll call myself like Mr. Muscle.
Yeah.
Mr. Muscle El Chupacabra.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mr. Muscle El Chupa. Because I need Mr. Muscle Chupacabra.
He just comes in as the medic at the end of it, trying to put noses back together.
But then, I come in and I like help these guys up and I pat them down, I treat their wounds and everything, and then all of a sudden I pick up the bed frame and I just smack them over the head with it and I just go,
Not Nighty Night? I don't. Concerning, Ben. Where did
because
you
I'm
get
a
the
wrestler.
bed? Where did you get the bed frame?
This was what I was treating them on, Lachlan.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I have to do it on a proper hospital
Thank
bed.
you. I may actually go with my old gamer tag.
Your game attack, Captain Larry Hook.
Prior to that, old game tag, not Larry Hook.
Oh yeah,
Luminite.
Luminite. Oh, I can see you wearing like gems.
I would just essentially be Tarek from League of Legends.
Yes, gems are truly outrageous.
Truly.
Oh, you haven't actually played League of Legends in years, have you? You know Tarek got a rework?
No, I did not.
Yeah. He's just as fabulous.
Oh, delightful. I
He
love
is
Tarek.
so fabulous. Like his new joke is like he just takes a pose and his gems flash like they're taking cameras. Like,
Oh, that's gorgeous.
he's got a
Great.
skin called Pool Party Tarek, which is basically straight out of Baywatch.
I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to fucking play again. Fix your shit.
My computer doesn't have sound for all those listening, and
Yeah.
Oh,
Makes it
that's
very
useful for
difficult.
something that's very sound based.
Exactly,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
How appropriate.
you know how hard it is to listen to this podcast.
He has to download it on his phone. It's tragic times we live in.
I-
Henry,
I-
what would your wrestling name be?
It's a good question. I don't know. I haven't really thought about this ever before. but
I don't, honestly, I think it doesn't matter as long as it's in Cantonese. Everyone will think you're like this foreign mysterious power. Like,
Steve.
how do you say Steve in Cantonese?
Steve.
Fuck.
It's just Steve. Right? I mean, you could add an accent to it, but funny enough, I can't actually do a Chinese accent.
Damn it.
You'd think after all the exposure you'd have.
Yeah, well.
Ah, yes.
I'm not.
Sorry,
I quite like Thunder.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Thunder.
But with like 2 R's.
Oh,
Thunder.
Yeah.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's
I don't know what
I-
my tagline would be, but
Thunder. I'm gonna lay the crack down on you.
yeah.
Because thunder crack. I'm gonna give you the clap.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I want that to be associated with me, but yeah.
That's fucking perfect.
Luminite. It have to have something to do with light. Luminite.
Yeah. Luminite, I'm gonna light up your life.
Well, man, we don't need to turn this into a dating simulator. I'm about to whoop some guy's ass, not take it out and try to meet his mum.
But wait, does that also secretly mean you're the bad guy? Because if anyone's watched Death Note, Light is the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That means
Well,
you.
the bad guy,
Yeah.
Henry.
I don't want you to
open
sit
quotation.
here.
Yes. Oh, wait. Potential spoiler there, but
Yeah.
yeah. This is how we do it here on the podcast. We say spoiler after we spoil something. So perfect.
Why don't you just up-to-date yourselves on pop culture? That was a sentence. Get up, up-to-date yourselves, cunts.
My goodness, I just realised how difficult it is to put my elbow down at current.
No, with your tattoo, yeah.
Yeah, with the floaties.
Yeah, with your floaties,
My floaties.
yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, Lachlan touched up his tattoo yesterday, and his elbows swole up massively.
Actually, yesterday it was bleeding quite profusely. So
Yeah. Well, I took that photo like as I was in the middle of a break after tattooing the elbow ditch. Like,
at least he's not
It
shedding.
wasn't a home job, that's what we're saying.
That's true. At least he's not shedding massively this week. So
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a good idea.
What?
I had a good idea. My wrestling name would be the Goblin.
The Goblin.
The Goblin. I would have so much fun with that. And I wouldn't have a calling card. My catchphrase would just be like...
So you just laugh manically.
What I would do is I would do all the sneaky shit. Like I would go and I'd stick my fingers up their rectums and stuff like that, and then as they're like recalling, I'd headbutt them and then giggle profusely, like, you know.
Well, why don't you just call yourself Naruto then?
10,000 years of death. That was like my favorite part of Naruto.
Oh, yeah.
It was all downhill from there, honestly.
You know, wrestling is it's like a
If you say it's fake, I'm going to hurt you.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm not. Gonna power slam me and shit, choke slam me in else places and whatever.
Anyway,
It's like a fake persona that they put on while they're wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why hasn't yours altered at all?
it's just you, really.
That's part of the sales
Yeah.
pitch. That is,
Yeah.
I am the Goblin. Like, you know, I live the Goblin.
For those who say wrestling is fake, I'm the real deal.
Yes. I don't even say that. I'm just like, so Goblin, how do you feel about your win? Interesting.
Nothing's
And
changed.
do you have anything to say to your competitor? So I don't see much difference between my normal speech pattern and the Goblin.
A tag team between the Goblin and Luminite. I'm just standing there with you on a leash.
Oh no, actually,
That would be the best threat though. Like you're losing and you're not doing too well, so you hold the leash up and you get out a pair of scissors and they're like, no.
Snip.
That's perfect, actually. If any of you guys have played Warhammer, they're in it. The goblins there are called Gretchen, and one of their units is actually you have a small Gretchen on a leash, which you fling into combat. So that's perfect.
That's
Wow.
fucking amazing.
Perfect.
We're a Warhammer reference,
Yeah.
Lachlan.
Why is my ideas already been put into place? Fuck.
It's alright, we're an alternate take on it.
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, we're using real people.
Yeah, exactly. It's not model figurines. You're just actually flinging someone into the. Yep.
I'm just literally throwing Ben into crowds of people. Get in there, bitch. Get in there. Do things. Awesome.
Well, look,
I'd leave.
At least it'll be a much cheaper experience than buying Warhammer figurines.
Significantly.
I don't know, you'd have to pay for all the damages.
No, I wouldn't if I'm ruling the world. This is my natural selection.
Oh, here we go. We're going back to that.
Ben, you're my goblin natural selection.
Wipe out all of them.
It's my stuff. Oh man, I'm actually really enjoying this. I'll sacrifice my position of ruler of the world if I get to be your goblin bitch.
I'm so down for that. Henry, you part of this?
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
All right,
We're awesome.
you-
Save
we
the hot
get-
chicks for Henry.
New movement, guys. Hashtag make Lockie.
If
what's
we
a-
get
what's a good
to
word?
throw Ben around and
Make Lockie Uber Lord.
Please. Please. I won't screw you guys around. Only the dumb ones you guys are screwing. Most of my friends, sorry.
Unless this also forces all the dumb people to not be dumb. There you go.
Yeah,
It's an
exactly.
incentive.
It's an incentive to
incentive,
educate
yeah.
yourselves.
Pick up a book and you will be spared. Watch a documentary. Educate yourself on the lifespan of a specific plant and get back to me with an essay.
I will actually now.
Thank you.
Into another interesting question here, guys.
On to the next question.
Yeah. What would be your ideal role in a movie?
Oh.
Ooh, yes,
Yeah,
Lachlan.
yeah,
you've got
yeah.
his-
I would love to be the villain.
Wait,
What kind of villain would you be, Lachlan?
What kind of,
Psychotic.
Like a really psychotic
like
villain?
psychotic with a backstory like the Joker.
Yeah, I was gonna say
yes.
so like the Joker or dude from Psycho.
Yeah.
He had a very interesting story. So so not just Psycho for the sake of Psycho.
Yeah. No. I know what you're talking about. Lachlan doesn't. Lachlan's educate yourself. You're dead now.
I rule the world. Psycho wasn't part of my scene.
What's the better one? Silence of the Lambs. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. So like Hannibal?
Yeah,
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Very
I'm always
interesting
scared that it's from a
character,
different thing. Like,
I'm so down.
Have any of you watched the series Hannibal?
I've
No,
bits and
I've
pieces
heard it's
of
good
it
though.
throughout.
You should all watch it, even though unfortunately it's cancelled long ago. But it's still I think it's a fantastic series.
I trust your opinion,
Again,
Henry.
warning, personal opinion, because apparently personal opinion nowadays is a very touchy thing. So there you go. Here's a warning.
How dare you like a thing?
Yeah.
No one likes things nowadays, Henry. Come
I feel
on.
uncomfortable just being
Yeah.
like,
But yeah,
I'm actually interested to see you as a psychotic villain. That'd be fucking fun.
God, it would be fun. For those who don't know what I look like, I've got bright blue eyes. And Tinder dates have described them as murder eyes upon meeting. So that's been interesting.
I think that's a good thing.
actually, I could imagine him playing a very convincing ginger version of Norman Bates.
Ooh.
Yeah, like you said with the eyes,
Yeah, I can see that. Honestly, I every single time I picture you now, Lachlan, in like a movie or a TV show, I picture you as like a mafia boss or like a goon for the mafia. Because remember how we were talking about that little
Yes.
Yeah.
All the skits that we were going to throw together.
Yeah.
I'm still completely down for that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make them. But
Yeah.
we had a little idea basically where we were gonna be like a mafia boss up and coming in Australia. They're trying to expand the mafia branch, so to speak. And Lachlan was gonna be like one of the goons. And the thing is, it's just
Head goon.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like Lachlan's a big chap. Like, you know, he's definitely not a small man.
Thank
And he was just starting to get into his workout routine of lifting and everything, so he was getting bigger.
Yep.
And my first thought was he's going to be an intimidating motherfucker, but I wanted him to be dumb as a doorknob, like because it would
So
just.
it's a classic henchman.
Yes.
Oh,
really
yes.
big, massive, goofy. But
Oh yes, but the best
dumb
part
as
is
bricks,
But the defining characteristic of him was he was Australian dumb.
Everybody else had a Russian accent except me.
Yeah, like I'm trying to put on my like, hey, don't worry about it, you know, it's all good. And they're trying to put on the bad mafia accent, and then Lachlan's just like, isn't that right, Bruno? Yeah, that's fucking right.
Yeah, that's fucking right, mate. You know it, eh? We got.
Bruno's second generation.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I swear to God.
I went straight, can't.
Wow, this is the most fucked up thing I've seen today, eh?
I would love just you are just the perfect like mafia, like just not so much a goon, but you are like the perfect like big henchman looking guy.
You know, I would love to. Should we cover up some of these tattoos?
No, that's what makes it good.
That's what makes it more amusing. You've got this big chunky ass dude, and you've got the most adorable and
Yeah,
cute
Disney
sort of,
tattoos all down one side of you. It's perfect.
Yes. And then you should get My Little Pony ones on the other side.
The best part is
on the hand.
Yeah.
On the hand.
the best part is you sit down and it's like, yeah, people think I'm a bit of a soft cock.
Yeah.
I got some nice Disney tattoos. What they don't realize is I'm a connoisseur of movie franchises. I wanted to fuck Tinkerbell. I wanted to fuck Hera. I wanted to fuck Cloud.
You're pointing to the wrong part of my arm right now, mate, and that's A-okay, but I also wanted to fuck a soot sprite.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I should have mentioned
No
that.
face. He used to have a face until that third date kicked in.
Oh man, I love it. See what I mean? It's just perfect. It's just perfect for
I can
it.
see it. Yeah.
What about you, Henry? What's your ideal movie role?
Probably, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say probably like some kind of commander general. It's either that or I'm probably like a scientist or someone that gives the exposition.
Yeah.
Really,
Do you?
yeah.
You don't think you're a main character?
Well, like if I am, I'll probably be like Indiana Jones.
Oh, nice.
I like that. Yeah.
So like that kind of cowboy kind of style.
Yeah.
Explorer.
He's intellectual, but he's daring to try whatever, go out there and have a
I
good
think
time.
that'd be a pretty fun role actually.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
And yourself, Ben?
Honestly, I'm a bit of an actor. I like acting. I like doing a lot of different things, but I'd say the ones that I enjoy the most. Okay, so two things stand out to me in my little acting experience, so to speak. Number one is I got to play a total of, I think I was 32 different characters in one play.
Wow.
That was so much fun. You have no idea. Like I was with a great cast and crew. It was just a nice little kind of local theatre thing, but it was so much fun. Nathan saw it, and he to this day says it's the best play he's ever seen. And there were like 30 people in the audience, like
Nice.
because that was the maximum the theatre could hold. Like, it was tiny, but I loved it. It was so much fun. Had a great cast and crew, like I said. The guy who I was classed as Clown 1, and he was classed as Clown 2. He had 36 different roles. I had 32.
Jeez.
I also got most of the female parts.
This was entirely expected. I would have been a bit disappointed if you didn't get all the female roles.
Lovely beard, by the way, Ben.
Thank you, Lachlan. I struggled to grow it at 18.
Oh, just be the lady.
Yeah.
You win in Eurovision now.
Ryan.
Well done. Well done, sir. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I loved that. So I would love to be in if I could be in a movie, I would love to do that. I would love to just play several different people in the same movie and like have that in some way relative to the canon, obviously.
Have you seen Orphan Black then?
Orphan Black?
Yes.
No.
Unless my memories completely failed me, that's the series where the one actor plays like 6 different roles because there's like 6 different clones.
That's fucking hot.
Check it out. You probably like it.
Split is another good example, actually.
I was about to bring that to your attention. Yeah, I love that movie.
Dude, James McAvoy did a really good job, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought he did really well. I'm actually sad that
I haven't
he didn't
seen it
get to
yet, so no spoilers.
Yeah, well, I'm actually sad he didn't get to be more of his personalities. Like, they mentioned he had, like 30 or something, and we only saw about 9 or 10.
Yeah, there were others that were hidden. They weren't mains.
Yeah, exactly.
This won't spoil anything.
Okay.
You had your main personalities, the more dominant ones, which is part of split personality disorder.
Okay.
FYI, psych degree.
Yeah.
This was actually one of my favorite things to discuss. You've got your dominant personalities. Your central personality may not come out all the time, which you notice in the movie as well.
Yeah.
And then you have your not submissive but less dominant personality types that
Come
lay
out
dormant.
less often.
Yeah, they still arise, but that may not be for years that they may come to the surface.
Okay.
And then that's where the time lapses come into it and all that sort of thing. And that
Okay.
yeah, so they're all individual personalities that come to surface. So they are their own person within the same body.
Okay. Would you say Split accurate? Like, obviously it's a movie, so it's going to have some fallacies. But would you say it's a fairly reasonable representation of split personality disorder?
As a baseline, yes.
Yeah.
In that regard, obviously, there's a lot of.
They're going to have to take a lot of artistic liberties, unfortunately, because otherwise, unless you want the movie to be like 30 hours long, probably, it's going to take a while to explain everything.
Well, like I
properly
said,
and all the rest of it.
it's the classic for a movie kind of thing, you know?
It's the same problem they had, obviously, like with Lord of the Rings. Even though the normal cut was 3 hours, that was still chopping off like 90% of what was in the books, and then the extended one was still not enough to cover everything.
The only thing that I noticed that doesn't actually come into it, but it was more to progress the storyline, was that the different personalities within the same body don't not often communicate. I don't believe that they can communicate.
Okay.
People with split personality disorder, I don't believe often are aware that they have split personality disorder because they are different personalities. They would each need to be told that you have split personality disorder. This is the reason.
So in real life, they're actually isolated from each other.
Essentially, yes. They don't all go and sit on a table in the back of their mind going, yo, so Stephen's going to come up later, but Gwen hasn't come up in about 3 months. We should let this chick go up.
So, no, it's okay. You guys go.
That would be awesome, though, I reckon.
I reckon on the whole Split would be a good, like, what if. It's like, what if your personalities could communicate with each other? What would happen then kind of thing,
It would be incredibly dangerous.
Ooh.
If all of these personalities could speak with one another, personality traits, just like within the movie can alter physical aspects. I was watching a documentary on, and there were a number of studies done on this one woman.
Yeah.
I can't remember how many it was, 50?
50?
Late 40s. It was something ridiculous, the amount of personalities that were in it. But they were all shifting quite rapidly. Now, when I'm saying rapidly, I'm talking in the space of minutes to hours that they were shifting between each one of the personalities.
You wouldn't be able to get much done if that...
No, not at all.
Yeah,
but because of the personality shifting, each one of them had their own levels of exhaustion and tiredness, obviously, because they weren't aware of what was happening previously. So think when you have a power nap and you pick back up again. So they were able to stay awake longer. However, the personality differences based on the time that they were open, one was still a toddler. So,
Jesus.
so we went from she was mid-30s, this woman, mid-30s or mid-40s, and that was her central, and that was
Yeah.
what her physical makeup represented. But then she had an elderly gentleman that was part of it, so she immediately became hunched. Her joints were really sore. She was speaking about past lovers that she had had, and
Yeah.
then within minutes, wasn't even finished the conversation, dropped down and wasn't able to move very properly. She was an infant. At that point,
Wow.
she became a toddler, lost complete control over her bowels, and was screaming for a doll.
I'm
Oh my
curious though.
god, that poor woman.
Yeah,
That was her personality.
that sounds horrendous. But did it actually permanently sort of affect her physiologically?
No,
like-
not permanently. So when they shifted between each
Right.
one of the personalities,
So-
she was able to pick up again.
Okay, so,
Dude, what? Do you remember what that documentary was called?
No, but it would be very easily located.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up because that sounds
it
like
sounds very fascinating.
very
yeah.
fascinating. Yeah.
I'm
But-
happy to find it and put it up on the page
Yeah,
as
man.
well
Yeah,
for
yeah.
others to check
Yeah,
out.
sure, man. Because that's rough.
Oh,
I'd like
definitely,
to.
yeah.
I'd like to play her in a movie.
Yeah, That-
You just have to fall down and stand up a lot.
it's a great.
Oh,
time,
that's
man.
easy.
Yeah.
What kind of cartoon character would you guys like to be?
Um,
Can't think of it. Yeah.
Lachlan's drawing
The
inspiration.
agony of choice. Here we go. Yeah. Although it is an agony of choice.
I would have liked to be the Mask.
The Mask.
Did you
yeah.
see you guys
Yes,
see the
yes.
Mask animated
No,
series?
yes.
That was fun
Yeah.
as fuck. I would love to be the Mask.
This is a difficult one. Ooh.
Da 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 da.
Again, the agony of choice. There's so many to choose from.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it helps, I would also say my second one. I really liked Inside Out. I thought it would be quite fun to just portray a single personality trait, like they did in that. I thought that would be quite fun. I think mine would be. I wouldn't be happy. I would be unnecessarily optimistic. It's like things are going to shit, but the brain's still going. You know what? This is okay.
Actually, I wouldn't mind being Lupin from. Crap! Now I've forgotten the name of the series. But it was basically an old detective sort of slash thief series, and he was called Lupin the Third, and he was like a master thief.
Dude, that does ring a bell.
And
I
he-
can't
yeah.
recall it.
It is just a kind of like a go happy guy who, no matter what situation he was always having a good time, and but it was basically the classic sort of lovable rogue with a heart of gold, but he was also quite mischievous and all the rest of it.
Yeah, they're always fun characters, aren't they?
Yeah. If I was going to be on,
Yeah.
that'll be a solid choice to me. The other one would probably that I can think of at the moment off the top of my head, and this could be because it's now just been released. Would be I wouldn't mind being the Major from Ghost in the Shell after she became the Puppet Master.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah.
The fact that I can now just wander about and inhabit whatever body and be whatever I need to be to help a situation. I think that's pretty cool.
That would be fucking awesome, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky, you had a thought yet? Like any thought at all?
Yeah, a couple actually come to mind. Aang from
Oh, the Avatar.
The Avatar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good solid
Which one?
choice.
Young one, old one, or dead
Young.
one?
young one,
Yep.
young one, as he's going on his adventures.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants creaking joints, right?
I do.
The other one that pops into my mind, I know blasphemous for anime lovers,
Yeah.
but One Piece, the main character from One Piece.
Oh,
Oh,
Luffy?
yes.
Luffy, I think it
Luffy.
is.
Luffy, yeah.
Yeah.
Luffy.
Yeah,
Luffy's pretty cool, though.
because he's
Why?
so bouncy,
Yeah.
happy, he's strong, independent, doesn't start shit, but finishes it really damn well.
Yeah. Actually, Luffy was one of my other choices before I picked the other ones. But yeah.
That's
Luffy's
actually-
a good one because
yeah.
he's been through a lot of shit, but he's still trying to puts on a brave face and he's still there for his mates and all the rest of it. Pretty good.
Now that I think about it, actually, if we bring it up, because we're going into anime a little bit, I would actually really like to be Light from Death Note.
That would be cool.
Like, honestly,
yeah.
it's like when I first watched Death Note, I was like, wow, this dude's fucking up himself to hell, but like,
Yes.
I actually like what he's doing at the same time. It's like, I thought it brought up a very interesting conflict. That's why I like Death Note so much. I would love to be Light.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
We've got
bigger-
inspiration. Yes.
Brock from Pokemon. the original series.
I'm going to turn my trusty frying pan
Yes.
into a drying pan.
My life in a show right there. He wouldn't make the cut, however, if any of us made world leader.
Yes, no.
How about you get a fucking umbrella, you retard?
How about you try opening your eyes? It's not that hard.
I did like Brock. I did like Brock quite a bit because he was always a constant source of amusement to me whenever he hit on girls.
And got rejected and still became so optimistic.
Dude,
about
he was a fucking... He wasn't a player. He wasn't good enough to be a player. But goddamn, could people learn a thing or two from him. You just keep trying until you find the one.
To be fair, he was also the more reliable one, I feel, out of all three of them, particularly at the start,
Yeah.
His confidence was the most amazing thing, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
Did not matter what happened. He was happy and he was going to talk to that woman.
Yeah. He's like, I have been rejected by each and every one of you, your sisters, and people that know you. But you know what? What the hell?
Hi, I'm Brock.
It wasn't even a hi, I'm Brock. It was like, he would fucking full on flirt with them too. It wasn't just like, your uniform makes me weak at the knees, and he was practically floating around them. I'm like, holy damn, dude.
Confidence 101 may have been overcompensating the phonics being his first Pokemon.
Actually, since we're talking about Pokemon, the other one I found interesting was someone brought this up before in some post somewhere, which I can't remember.
Yeah.
Actually, James from Team Rocket is actually probably a better Pokemon person than Ash because every one of his Pokemons, he convinced.
Yeah, I did see that post.
None of them were captured or sort of essentially blackmailed into being part of his team. Every single one of them, he convinces them and talks to them to be with his team.
Yeah, and asks them. Yeah, I remember that,
Yeah.
I even remember there was a whole backstory about James and his Growlithe in the first season. And how his little Growlithe was determined to see him again and he was a loyal little dog and everything. Yeah. And he gave up his Growlithe when it evolved into Arcanine because of a little girl who liked it. And it's I thought that was really sweet, and it's
Yeah.
And whereas Ash is like, I'm gonna catch me a Growlithe.
Yeah, exactly. And he has supreme confidence, and I think actual confidence, because he has no problem cross-dressing, and he flaunts the shit out of that.
He got plastic surgery for really big tits.
Yeah.
That episode was banned in America.
Yeah.
Fucking prudes.
Of course it
No, that's upsetting. Oh, there was a game very recently that was just banned in Australia from even coming out. Outlast 2, is it?
Outlast 2. Something like that. I remember.
Australia. Australia tends to ban games for very weird,
I'm just so used to not
reasons.
getting games in Australia anymore. Left 4 Dead 2 was banned in Australia for a bit until they took out the cops getting murdered.
That was the reason?
The cops were zombies. They weren't real cops. They were dead cops.
It's post-apocalyptic. They're all zombies. Anyways, moving on. I think we got time for at least one more joke.
I have another couple
One
questions.
more joke. I mean, one more question.
Yeah, I have another couple questions. If you guys could teach any class, what would you teach?
Teach any class.
Would I need to be a master of this first, or am I just teaching shit I don't know?
Let's say you can teach any class that you want.
And
I'm going for theoretical physics.
Thermonuclear dynamics.
Yeah. String theory.
Boys, we in. We in, boys.
Yep. So no, you've got macro physics. I've got quantum, and then you've got energy.
Yeah, energy. But very.
The thing that links to all three of us. It's like we planned this.
If we were going for a more serious answer, I would legitimately teach people how to be fucking people. I would have common sense classes. This is how you load a dishwasher, okay? This is how you operate your washing machine and how you hang out clothes, okay?
Yeah.
See that pretty girl over there? You can't talk to her? Well, you're a fucking idiot. I'm going to teach you, all right?
Well, okay, we need to calm down. That is a lot of information to take in. What if we team up together? You take the
it's over 3 year semesters. This isn't just a one class thing. If
it's a one class thing, all right. Let's just go with that to start with. We're only working with one semester.
Yeah.
If we could link 3 ideas together, we got the common sense things for your standard day-to-day living.
Yeah.
I'll work with just confidence.
Yeah,
we'll just try to work on building confidence, because nothing is sexier on both a man or a woman than confidence.
Completely agree.
I'll be happy to take all the technical stuff, which.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. We're in it, boys.
Done. Sorted.
We've done it.
All right, the lounge table will be operating our new school.
Please buy our curriculum.
Yes,
it's
for only $9.99.99.
Yeah, I was going to say you'll find it very cheap compared to many other curriculums.
Yes.
I paid fucking $10,000 for this bullshit.
Look,
this is $500. $500 to learn how to human.
I like that.
When I first did uni, the see. Why am I was struggling to say textbook, so good on me. So I've done well in uni, as you can tell. Anyways, the textbooks were averaging between like $60 to $150 for a freaking book, which you use for one semester and maybe flip to a page every now and then.
It's absurd, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
That's why with the Ben Lockie Henry Deluxe package, there are no textbooks. This is all off the cuff. All out of our shitty little heads.
We have actually no lesson plans put in together. If you walk in there and you look like you're struggling loading a dishwasher, we got your back.
Yep.
Also,
no worries.
don't drink paint. Lesson 101.
Exactly. Yep.
Our class is just going to be full of infants.
Yeah. If you see live wires, don't touch them. There you go. No?
What we're going to do is we're going to lay out all these hazards and then just release the toddlers. Natural selection.
Oh, Ben, I love you. Yes. Yes.
Oh, this can be yours for a low price of $39.99.99. But wait,
the smart ones will survive.
if you call now, you get an extra seat.
If you call now, we'll give your child an additional benefit. We'll give them a survival technique. Like we'll put plastic gloves on their hands so they can't get fried by the live wires. You know, we'll give them a respirator so they don't drown.
Yes, we'll give them a survival package, which will drop out of the sky, and they will need to crawl through all this to collect.
Crawl through under a field of barbed wire with bombs going off.
No, just tell them that's what it is. At the end of it, it's just bleach. Like in a. They have to figure out.
They have to figure out that we've been joshing them.
And they learn the ultimate life lesson: life will kick you in the balls.
Yep.
There you go.
So will we.
Never trust a master prankster.
Lol,
You thought you were going to live. It was actually bleach.
Excellent.
This is what our podcast is. Murdering infants for natural selection.
We've done well here. Yeah.
I reckon we could probably plow through the rest of these questions now.
All right, let's do it.
All right, here's another interesting one. If you were to run a restaurant, what kind of restaurant would you own?
Oh God, here we go. I would like to run a nice sort of. Actually, I wouldn't mind just a general restaurant that's like going to your mate's place, but obviously, it's a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
You serve just a few customers every night.
Mm-hmm.
And they pay quite a pretty penny, but you give them like the full experience. You give them like a 9-course meal.
Oh yeah,
of
so
whatever cuisine they so desire, and then you as a chef will try and.
So the whole point, the only reason it's expensive is because you're buying a fuck ton of good food, basically.
Yeah. So and you're giving them an entire night's experience. So it's not just in and out sort of deal.
Oh, so you're going for more of that, like kind of like a luxury restaurant kind of thing,
Yeah.
rather than just come in and eat.
Yeah.
It's like
but not so much in a pretentious way. Just give you like a nice experience.
Yeah, kind of like a family barbecue kind of feel.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I'd eat there.
Yeah.
I'm totally spacing on his name now, but he's based in the UK, and I'd really like to eat there, but they are very, very expensive.
Are you thinking of Heston Blumenthal?
Yes.
Yes,
I am.
Excellent. I would love to eat his.
I would. Yeah,
You're thinking of the fat duck, and I would love to.
I too would like to eat a tire and pudding.
Yeah.
That's it. I would hook that up. That would be me, and I'd be making everything look like something that is not edible. You shove your face into it, and just
nice.
That's a descriptive word right there.
All I remember about Heston Blumenthal is there was a particular comedian in England who just fucking hated him. Just like, why the fuck is this a thing? Why am I eating fence posts made out of fucking wood chippings and sugar?
I'm sorry, just to quickly chip in there, my favorite bit was on one of his programs. He built an entire miniature cottage out of cake, and it was brilliant. And it looked like like had proper plastering,
Jesus Christ.
floorboards and doors and everything. Everything was edible. And I was like, this is amazing. You are literally Willy Wonka.
That's fucking cool though.
Did you say that he had his own restaurant that you're able to just walk into? Is that right?
He's got the Lions Pub, which is a bar. Basically, it's a pub just behind or near the Fat Duck, and that's the more casual sort of affair. And then he's got the Fat Duck, which is obviously his high end cuisine.
So you've got a book obviously to go eat at the Fat Duck, I would assume.
I would love.
Yeah.
I would.
Oh
love
yeah,
to.
no, you've as far as I remember, the booking is massive. It's a huge long line. Yeah.
If I book now, because as you guys know, I will be in the UK in October, November.
It's gonna be hard to do the podcast then.
You may actually be too late.
Oh, well, I'll look into booking it this afternoon.
Dude, yeah.
Their bookings are like 8 to 9 months out.
I'm quite happy to drop even $1,000 on a meal.
If it gets served to you looking like a fucking
If it looks like a
ship in a
cottage,
bottle.
I would eat it.
Do you know the thing that really annoys me? He moved the entire fat duck over to Melbourne for like 6 months or something. And
Oh my god.
when I found out about it, I said, yes, we went down to Melbourne for PAX last year.
Yeah.
I thought, perfect opportunity. We'll book now, and by the time we get down there, we can visit the fat duck. Everything was already booked out. No reservations are left. It was all booked up for the entirety of the 6 months. Like, God damn it.
Jesus Christ, man. That's fucking people are on board with that, weren't
So I
they?
need to get involved in that now.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, when you've moved something as famous as the fat duck all the way over to the other side of the world, people go, yes, yeah.
I love that he just brings it out and it looks like he's serving you the food in the things he cooked it in, and then all of a sudden they're edible. Oh my god, it's an edible pot.
However, it's 7 to 8 months away. I may be lucky enough to get in.
Don't quote me on this, obviously, but yes,
Yeah,
just from
dude,
memory.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Gotta send me photos of it.
Definitely
I
go
will.
for it. Yeah.
If I'm allowed photography in there, he may be pretty particular about it.
I'm pretty sure he'd be alright. Well,
Yeah,
with all the fucking Instagram pics he'd get and get tagged in the Instagram pics, like that kind of shit.
Definitely. If you do go there, do you try the sound of the sea?
Sound of the sea?
Yeah.
Does he serve you fucking seashells?
No, not quite, but he shows you an experience which sounds like he gets you to put on headphones, which plays the sound of the seashore, and as you're eating, it's supposed to feel like you're eating on the seashore.
I believe Heston Blumenthal is the personification of hipster.
I like this. I'm hooking it up.
I think if I was gonna have a restaurant, I would like to that themed restaurant like Dracula's? I'd love to have a themed restaurant, and what I would have is a Viking long haul.
Oh, yes, my
Dude, I would have
totally
people
get
in the
behind
hats, the leather furs, the armor and the whole thing. I'd have them carrying battle. I'd have you serve your food on fucking axes and stuff like that. I'd have it in skulls, like have drinking mugs and skulls, that kind of shit.
Yes.
Like, the whole point is there would be no meal
Yeah.
that would be smaller than my chest. Like,
I'm glad you
Nice.
finished that sentence. You hooked all this up. There is no meal.
there is only the battlegrounds.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing. I would genuinely have a battlegrounds in there too. Like, I would just have a spot, like a circle for like LARP battles. So just get some live action
yes.
roleplay going there.
This
Like,
sounds-
if no one wanted to fight, I would legitimately hire performers to fight
Yeah.
the Viking in the Viking way, which is screaming with axes.
There is actually a restaurant that's similar to this, I think, but instead it's like going to a Renaissance fair. You go there, there's like actual jousting or whatever.
Oh,
and then
that's cool.
You sit in the stands like in your oldie stands. It's actually wooden stand, and
Yeah.
you have your meal there and you watch the performance.
That's really cool.
They don't get you to joust it, which is disappointing.
Well, the thing is, the fun thing about the Viking long haul is that I would have kids hour. So the point is, I'd get the biggest, brawliest motherfucker
Yes.
I could find. He'd stand there, and I get to give the kid an axe. And the kid just and he goes, "Roar," and they're like, really nice and slow for the kid to dodge. And then the kid hacks at his ankles, and he goes, ah, just falls to the ground. I think that'd be so cute, and
I
and
would
get
love
families
that.
in.
I totally actually spaced on what I was about to say.
You've done well there.
I can keep talking about my Viking long
I
haul.
got
man.
way too drawn into the Viking and the big guy falling down.
I told you, man.
But I forgot what I was gonna say.
It'd make me a fucking mint.
Now,
I'll tell
would
what.
you call this place Valhalla though?
Yes.
Yes.
God, yes.
Excellent.
You
Good.
read my mind, Henry.
Yes.
Okay, I just remembered what I was
Yep.
going to say.
Okay.
Okay, there's a restaurant, I believe it's in America somewhere,
Yep.
and it's just, they insult you the entire way through.
Oh my God, that's
You
great.
order meal, and then
Yep.
like in Australia, how we're really we're pushing for like good quality service, all that. They come out there, they yell at you, they call you a fat mom, they just throw the food on the table. And is there any fucking thing
yeah.
else that I could do?
Oh my
if
God.
if it's your birthday, now this was the best thing, and I can find the link for this. I will locate the link and put this up there as well. There is a very fat man that works there.
Yep.
Very, very morbidly obese man. And if you say it is your birthday and you get your birthday special there, he comes out in a pair of tiny shorts,
Oh, no.
rips his shirt off, and he slams your face into his gut. And he gives you a lap dance.
Is he also the head chef?
I'm not sure, to be completely... I would hope so.
I just picture so splat.
Yeah.
That's
it.
Because when you said fat man, I was just picturing he was like the stereotypical rosy cheeked fat head chef. And he just comes out, rips off his apron and says, "Right, who's the birthday boy or girl?"
There's something very comforting about seeing a naked Santa come into your room at night.
Okay. I don't really want to go into your pastime.
Anyways, moving right along.
Naked Santa is just a fat
All right,
bearded guy.
how about we speed run these last 2 questions, boys? Because I think we're going on a bit long here.
Yep.
But okay, here's a good one. Ideal marriage age. Do you think there is an ideal age to get married?
No.
No.
When the time is right.
Yes. Yep. Damn it! You just stole my answer. I was going to say yes when you're ready for it, but God damn, you nicked my thunder.
He gave you the clap.
Yeah.
I think we all had the same answer to that one. I thought that's why that's a good speed run question. Because you shouldn't get married at a certain age. Get married when you think you're ready to get married.
I'm 26, time to get married. The only broad here is you.
Oh shit. All right, and here's the last thing. I think this is a good way to round off the podcast, boys. What would be your advice to anyone who wants to conquer their fear or relieve stress or in general be more relaxed and lead a better life?
Exposure.
Are you saying that they should fuck themselves up as much as possible?
It'll either kill you or make you incredibly strong.
What if I have a fear of death?
Well, you'll be dead, so...
Exposure therapy is the best treatment for your fear of death.
What kind of exposure were we talking about? Were we just talking about exposure to the outside world, or were we talking about exposure to, like, radiation?
We were talking about conquering fears and, like, building on confidence and such, yes? Well, I have a fear of needles, and now I have a sleeve. Just to put that in perspective, a sleeve of needles. Just to put that into perspective, I had a fear of needles.
Yep.
I wanted to start overcoming my fear of needles. I haven't quite got there. It is a bit of a phobia for me. Mm-hmm. But exposing myself to, I believe it's now 38 hours of work that's gone into my arm.
Yep.
And
38 hours, I'm now no longer scared of that particular kind of needle or the feeling of being injected with something.
That's good.
That's pretty good.
That kind of exposure. Flooding yourself is a good way to move along. It also builds confidence. I've conquered this. This is something that held me back. It was a negative that I saw in myself. It is now a positive. I'm able to overcome these things. I may not be completely over my fear, but now I have the confidence to move forward.
There you go, Lachlan.
Actually,
I think, personally, if you want to do any of these things, it's something really silly and simple, but it's something that really, really works, is just do some exercise. Believe it or not, like exercise has been proven, scientifically proven. It doesn't. Not only do you feel better physically, but it improves your mental health. Yes. With increased physical activity comes also increased mental activity. Like your brain actually becomes more receptive to learning.
Yes.
What you do is you stimulate your body so much that it just gets into this zone of and just clicks, and everything just gets easier, and you feel better, more healthy, more well. And just with that comes a feeling of confidence in yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I think everyone at every point in their life should at least do some exercise. I reckon 3 times a week of serious exercise, or maybe even just 10 minutes a day of like push-ups, sit-ups, planks, squats, whatever you want.
Even just going for a walk instead of going everywhere, even close by, just taking a car, just walk there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just having a walk and
just little bits of exercise.
It doesn't have to be very strenuous. Just walk there and just walk at your normal pace.
Exactly.
It's
you don't have to be a fitness guru. You don't have to be one of those fuckers on Instagram like flexing his back muscles and saying subscribe to my pre-workout. You don't have to be one of those dudes. You just have to be fit. You don't have to feel good with where you are physically. That's all you have to do. Stop looking at me like that, Lachlan.
And Lachlan's just.
Just sitting here.
No. He wants us to draw attention to it, so we're going to move on.
Lachlan's an Instagram fitness model now.
Anyways.
Yeah, with my little beer belly that I got.
Yeah.
I love my fitness.
We all have little beer bellies, son. It's okay.
Thank you.
What I'd say to that is, I suppose it kind of fits in with what Noki said. If you want to do something, instead of sitting there mulling over it, just go out and do it and try it. If you fail, then so be it. That's how we learn.
Exactly.
If you fail, go back and as long as you analyze how you failed and try and improve on that, you just go back and do it again. But instead of sitting there saying, "Oh, I could be doing this and could be," just go and give it a try. Just do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
just do it. Just to bring up a really old meme, but anyway.
Exactly. And best advice too: if you find out you're shit at it, maybe you think about something else.
Yeah. And the most important thing I feel from that is identify what you're shit at. It's okay to be shit at certain things. You're only human.
Oh, I'm going to tell that to my girlfriend.
I mean, despite what you may think, you're only human. It's perfectly fine to be shit at certain things. Just identify what you're shit at, what you're good at, and then just go after what you're good at. And if the stuff you're not brilliant at, find someone to fill that void one way or another.
I agree, Henry.
Like with what you were saying just then, Henry, you learn more from failing than you ever will from succeeding.
Yeah.
You failed, you learn not just about whatever you've just failed at, but everything else that may be connected to that.
Yeah,
you will
absolutely.
always learn more from failure than you will from succeeding.
Yeah.
Learn from other people's failures, not just your own. Don't screw up if old mate next door has just done the same shit and it hasn't worked.
That's called being an idiot. But yeah.
And that's when
selection.
Yay! Definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yes.
Don't be crazy. Try something new.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to try something new.
Yeah.
New is scary, but new fucking works.
Life lessons on the lounge table, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's bringing us to an end.
That is
I
a
think we should
perfect
probably-
note to end on. It's a happy and uplifting note, which is
I'm gonna
is
fucking murder
good.
you with a spade.
there you go. And I was just about to say, just to counteract that, fuck all of you. There you go. There you go. We've got balance. Yes.
We are the yin yang of the lounge table.
Anyways, we hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Lounge Table. As always, we'll
I
be
hope
back.
you need to pee as much as I do with the amount of tea I drank.
Well, if you've been drinking tea with us and you've been holding in the entire time, we thank you for persevering through the entirety of us rambling.
Although,
through
why
all
didn't you
this.
just get your headphones on and take us to the toilet? Like, really think about it. What are you doing with your fucking life?
Yeah.
I'd love to join you in the toilet.
And there we go. There we're off the air. Anyways, we hope you've enjoyed this week's show. We'll be back at the same time next week. And until then, bye everyone.
Thanks for having us, Henry.
Bye bye.
Bye.